Ohio Bobcats, and we briefly mentioned it. Ohio's defense last year, insane. It was awesome. But one sec, let me go ahead and we got Ohio over 6.5 wins. They had the best defense in the MAC, one of the best defenses in the country. Now, obviously, they play a MAC schedule, but their defense was truly nuts. And all right, so I actually want to start on this one. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts about Ohio this year.
You want me to recap what they did last year real quick?
Yeah, give them a quick recap.
They were 10-3, 6-2 in the MAC. They won the Myrtle Beach Bowl 41-21. Tim Albin's back for his 4th year. He's 23-16 in his 3 years prior. They're ranked 8th in the preseason ranking.
Okay, so Ohio Bobcats. Now they bring back the same head coach. OC's gone. Or no, actually both coordinators are gone, right? The DC is now the D-line coach at Memphis. Unclear why he left. I think just to upgrade the program he's working with. I thought DC would be
probably paid more, to be honest.
I thought being a defensive coordinator at a top 25 defense last year would have garnered him a better job than a D-line coach at Memphis, personally. But whatever.
Probably.
So they upgraded John Hauser to be the DC. He was the safeties coach last year. So when you first look at this team, Ohio, they lose Curtis Rourke, who now plays for Indiana through the transfer portal. They lose their top 6 receivers. So they lost their quarterback. They lost their top 6 receivers. And they lost 3 starters on the offensive line. But here's the thing. 7 of their top 10 offensive linemen are back. So even though they did lose 3 starters, I expect that offensive line to be fine. And like Andy said, their running backs, they brought back both of their running backs and added one in the portal. So they have a very dynamic RB room with an offensive line I expect to be good. So even though this is a team powered by their defense last year, and they lost their quarterback and receivers. So at first glance, you might think, this offense is going to be even worse. I expect them to be a really dynamic rushing attack here. And you know what? We kind of saw it in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And trust me, I should know more than anyone. I bet Georgia Southern in that game and thinking, Rourke's not playing. This offense is going to suck in this game. They ran the ball all over Georgia Southern, kind of gave us a sneak peek of what their offense is going to be this year. 232 rushing yards on 5 yards per carry. So I think the Ohio rushing attack is going to be good. I think the offense is going to be improved from last year despite losing the quarterback and receivers. That being said, what does this Ohio Bobcats team look like without its defense? Because that was the backbone of their team last year was the defense. And like I mentioned, they have a new defensive coordinator. Defensive line is smoked. They lost basically everybody on the defensive line. Everyone's gone. Linebackers also smoked. They lost pretty much all their linebackers. Their top 3, I'm pretty sure. Now, I will say they should be okay in the secondary. They're bringing most of their secondary back. They lost 3 of their top 6, but they brought in a couple guys through the portal. So the pass defense should still be okay, but the defensive front for Ohio, gutted. Yeah. So I even though I expect the offense to be better, defense should take a huge step back.
Yeah, honestly, I feel very similar to you. I think their offense is very similar to the team we just talked about, Central Michigan. They're going to literally just want to run the ball every play. I think Parker Navarro, we'll see. He's young, but maybe he has an arm on him, but we don't know that coming in. What we do know is these running backs are sick, and they probably have the best running back duo in not only in the conference, but in the upper half of the country, maybe, because these guys were really good. And this freshman they brought in too is crazy. I think they're gonna have a top tier running backs. Who knows what their pass is gonna be? And defensively, even if they had brought everybody back, I would have probably been like, well, they probably can't replicate that defensive season because it was that good. But not bringing anybody back scares me a little bit. That's when I first saw the schedule before I had even looked into Ohio at all, I was like, hey, that first game, I'm like, that's maybe an upset alert. A MAC team always pulls an upset. But I just think the defense doesn't have anything back from next year, so I could see a slow start here, week 1, week 2. Just not bringing anybody back on defense scares me. Like you said, their O-line will be fine. Their rushing is going to be great. They're going to score. I think they're going to score a lot of points, put up a lot of good stats rushing. We'll see what their passing is. To me, that really doesn't matter that much because I think they're going to be run so well. But their defense is going to be a complete transformation.
Yeah, and you can see for the returning production, it looks bad. It's not. The 4 defensive returning production They're all in the secondary. Well, no, there's one linebacker coming back, but the front seven crushed. So they lost a lot of people. Parker Navarro did get some looks last year, but you know what I liked is we saw in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Parker Navarro got the start because Curtis Rourke sat out or he might have been hurt. And all they did was run the ball, which is, I think, kind of, like I said, a sneak preview. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at the schedule.
Yeah, I think Rourke was already in the portal.
Yeah, I think he was too. I think he was too.
I think he was immediately in the portal.
All right, so let's go ahead and get the schedule on the screen. Ohio Bobcats. So, game 1, Syracuse loss.
Yeah, that's a loss.
South Alabama, I haven't looked at them yet.
That should be a win. South Alabama
is winnable. Okay.
Yeah, that's a win. Oregon State, they're gonna crush.
Loss.
Kentucky's a loss.
So 2-2, win.
Akron's a win. Homecoming game, that's a win.
3-2, loss.
Back-to-back losses: Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio.
So
then I got them winning 3 straight.
Win.
Favorable scheduling.
All right, so hold on. That puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, but then loss, win. Oh, that's
I got
only
them winning
6.
against Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have them at 6 wins. So, yeah. I mean, look, week 1, I'd love to tell you this could be the MAC team that pulls an upset this year, but Syracuse has just such an energy right now that I think everybody's kind of talking about, to the point where I don't think they could pull that one. That would be the difference, because they're not going into Kentucky and winning that game. They're probably not beating Miami of Ohio. They're the best team in this conference. So there's just not an upset on here that I could see.
Miami, Ohio is not the best team in this conference. Northern Illinois.
They're preseason ranked number 1.
Oh.
I
guess I would lean on. I also think that they could lose that South Alabama game too. So
yeah, there's games that I could see in a perfect world I could see them steal, but there's also games I could see them getting stolen. So
Northern Illinois, this is who I think is the best team in the MAC.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where were they ranked?
The problem is they have a tougher schedule. That's why the win total's at 6.5, because they definitely have a tough schedule.
Yeah, they do this a lot. They like to play really good teams and then